First of all, let me thank, as usual, the organizers of the conference who gave me the opportunity to share my views here. And incidentally or accidentally, I don't know how it happened that both the key speakers are from the same university. I'm also from Aligarh Muslim University. I am the student of Aligarh Muslim University, and the Professor Mumtaz, he also did his PhD from the same university, Aligarh Muslim University. So it's a good news for my university that both the key speakers are from the same. So thank you very much once again. Okay. So usually I will go there and I will use that thing. Okay, not from here. Okay. You see, because if you are speaking from here, it seems that you are a leader. You are doing some speech. Okay. So that's why I came here. Okay. Come. He is my student. He is in University of Malaya. He is doing research in mathematics, and I taught him in an MSc there at AIM. Anyway, so the title has already been assigned, announced by this chairperson here, but it is not written here. Okay? So it will come later. So Professor Mumtaz has eased a lot of my difficulties just by giving the definition of science and zikr and fikr and all, as well as he has mentioned something about Newton's law. So there are many words, okay, I don't know how many, there are more than one word. And in this word, the human beings are living. And human beings may be of any religion. The insan, they are residing in the world, and insan may be a non-Muslim or a Muslim. So this book is meant for everybody. Okay? Why it is meant for everybody? Because look at the second one. To whoever among you will go straight. Okay? So if anybody wants to choose the right path, this book is meant for that person. It is not only for Muslims. Now, as a Muslim, our responsibility is there. So basically, I am a man of mathematics, and I did my research all in theoretical physics, in general theory of relativity. I have done my research. So this is my hobby. This is not my profession. My profession is mathematics. So whenever I deliver such type of lecture in India, people say that you are a mathematician, why you are delivering such lectures? This is not your duty. So I quote them this ayah of Quran. Look at this one. Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat lin-nas ta'muruna bil ma'ruf wa tanhauna 'anil munkar wa tu'minuna billah. You are the best nation produced for the mankind. Kuntum khayra ummatin. So once we are the best nation and I am the member of that nation. So once you are a best nation, there must be some duty for you. You must have to follow some duty, and the duty is that you enjoin what is right and forbid what is wrong and believe in it. So now it is the duty of every Muslim to ask other people to go straight and forbid them what is wrong. So now let's start with the first 5 verses of the Holy Quran. The first verse says that, Iqra bismi rabbika allazi khalaq. Read in thy name of Allah who created everything. So this first verse gives you the power and wisdom of the Creator. The Creator has created everything. Whatever things you see here, they are all created by Allah. So this verse gives you the wisdom, power and knowledge of Allah. And then the second verse says that khalaqal insana min alaq. The human being is created out of a blood clot. So if I ask the question that how the human being is created, the answer is human being is created out of a blood clot. There is the reality of the exactness of creation, or the reality of human being is that he is created out of a blood clot. So this means if we want to know the exactness and reality of a certain thing, we have to read science. And this is the definition of science. If you go through the Oxford Dictionary, the meaning of science is to know the exact and real structure of a thing is just science. Okay? So if we want to know the reality of the creation, we must have to read science. So first verse says about the wisdom, knowledge and power of Allah. And second is about the creation. So suppose I am just obeying the order of our dean. Okay? Because presently I belong to UC. I am a visiting professor here for 2 months. So she is my dean now. So she is my officer. So if I obey the order of my officer, there are only 2 things. One thing is either I fear her because of her powers, or I love her. Okay, only there are 2. Yes? Yes, okay. So there are only 2 things. Either I fear her or I love her. But for Allah, we neither fear Allah nor we love her. So why we obey the orders? So the first verse says about the wisdom, knowledge and power of Allah. Yeah? So once you know the power and blessings of Allah, then you will be afraid of Him as well as you will love Him. Yeah? And second thing is about the creation. That's for the knowledge of creation, for the reality of creation, you have to read science. And the third verse says that Iqra wa rabbuka al-akram. Again the word Iqra is coming. Read, your Lord is bountiful. So it was stated in the first verse, Iqra, again it is coming here. So more than once we have to read. This means whatever we are reading, we have to read it carefully. We have to read to understand. Because once you understand, only then you can follow. Otherwise not. So you have to read twice or more than once. That is, you are going to understand what is written. So once you understand the thing, then you use the pen to record it. Allazi allama bil qalam. The use of pen is also there. So understanding and recording, it is simply known as the research. So the first verse is about the wisdom, power and knowledge of Allah. Second is about the science. And these third and fourth, they are about the research. You can also do that, you can do that because this is the very powerful verse that Allah has given to us. Allama al-insana ma lam ya'lam. Taught the human being which he knew not. Now here look at Allama al-insana ma lam ya'lam. It is not written here. Allama al-muslim ma lam ya'lam. It is not written here. So anybody who want to know, Allah will give him that. So unfortunately, we the Muslims, they do not want to use this facility. Okay? So about the scientific temperament, the Quran says, "Inna fi khalqi samawati." Anyway, so you see, in everywhere I have written down the verse, the chapter 3rd verse and 190 to 91. So the reference is there. So the first verse says that inna fi khalqi samawati wal ardi wa ikhtilafil layli wan nahari la ayatin li ulil albab. So the translation reads like this: behold, in the creation of heavens and the earth, and the alternation of nights and day, there are indeed signs for the people of understanding. Okay? So here the word ulil albab is used. That is the li'ayatin li ulil albab. So, what are those ulil albab? Who are the people of understanding? Those are the people, allazina yaskuruna Allah qiyamah. Those are the people which pray to Allah, whether they are sitting, standing, or lying on their sides, and they always think they can contemplate the wonders of creation in the heavens and the earth with the thought, our Lord, not us, thou created all this. So you see, this is the definition of a scientist, a true scientist. What the scientist did? If you look at the biography of any scientist, famous scientist, the real scientist, what he did? He chose a problem. He think on this problem every time, whether he is sitting or standing or lying. Every time he thinks on that problem. So he is involved in thinking of that problem, unless and otherwise he solve it, and then he move on to other. So Allah is asking us that we must have some sort of a scientific temperament. The scientific temperament is there, then only then you can try to understand the verses of the Quran. And not only that, Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam also said that he used to say, Allahumma arina al-ashya kama hiya. Oh Allah, show me the things as they really are. So the exact knowledge of the things is simply the science, the definition of the science. And about the ilm, and if you go through the dictionary, which is from Arabic to English, and find out the meaning of ilm. So when you find out the meaning of ilm means science. I also belong to the university, temporarily to this university, University of Islamic Sciences. Kulla ulum asasi. Or Jamiatul Ulum Asasi. Okay. So Jamiatul Ulum Islamia, I belong to this. So ulum means sciences is there. So actually this has got a very vast meaning, very big meaning it has got. In our country, usually all the people, they thought that ilm is only for ilm sharia, ilm fiqh, only the Qur'anic, nothing else. They don't say that ilm is science. So the importance of ilm is seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave. Okay? This is a saying of Prophet of the Hadith. Now, you have to spend your whole life as a talib ilm, as a student. The student has got the talab for ilm. Okay? So it's starting from the cradle to the grave. So, or we can say that cradle means that starting from your mother till you get old. So the child has spent all of his initial time with his mother. So if the mother is educated, only he can deliver the best thing to the child. So Islam is the first religion who advocates about the education of the woman. And I am happy to see here that the women are in majority who are get involved in education. Here I am teaching some course in science faculty, and I saw that almost 100 students are there, so more than 70% are the girl students. So it is a good sign that the women are educated here. And not only for this one, another one is the talab ilm faridatan ala kulli muslim. To get knowledge is obligatory for every Muslim. So just see the importance of the ilm, and for not only for that, so to seek knowledge, if you have to go to China, you have to go. So again, ilm here means that suppose when the Islam was started in Mecca or Medina, so at that time technology was not so developed. Okay? You cannot communicate. So when the Islam was there, you cannot say that at the same time there are some religious centers or Islamic center in China also. So this means if you are going to seek knowledge in China, this means you have to seek the knowledge of the world, not for the Islam. So this means you have to seek knowledge of every type, not only for the Sharia or science, every type. Some knowledge, some concept of knowledge has already been given by Professor Mumtaz in his talk. So, not only that, well, one thing I will make clear that The verses of the Quran, they are written from the Quran, so they are perfectly all right. The translation is done by some human being, so maybe something may be wrong, or something you cannot understand, or you can understand. So it is done by the human being. And whatever interpretation I am giving here, it's my own. You are not supposed to agree with each and every interpretation. Okay? Because I am a student of science. I am not a student of philosophy. I am a student of science, so I have seen all the verses of the Quran as a student of science. So my interpretation may be a different one. So it is not necessary that you always agree with all of them. Okay? But you have to agree on the verses as well as the translation. Okay? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that let there be from you a nation inviting all that is good, enjoying what is right. So what is right means what is truth. So the people who are inviting to the truth, they are scientists. So among you, there must be a group of scientists. Well, WB Jamaat take it otherwise. There must be some people who can ask for the dawah. As a student of science, I say that there must be some group which invite you towards the truth. And truth means science. So there must be a group of scientists. Okay? In chapter 3, verse 19, Allah says that the religion in the sight of Allah is Islam. So Islam is the only religion in the sight of Allah. Okay? And let us see what is the meaning of Islam. So here we have ISLAM, Islam. I stands for I, S stands for surrender my, L to life to, A for Allah and M for Muhammad. So I surrender my life to Allah and Muhammad. Okay? So this is the meaning of Islam. Okay, so if you translate it into Arabic, it simply means Atiullah wa Atiur Rasul. Okay? If you translate it into Arabic, it simply means Atiullah wa Atiur Rasul. So for Atiullah, you have to follow Quran. And for Atiur Rasul, you have to follow Hadith. So there is no third thing. Only two things are there. One is Quran, second is Hadith. For Atiullah, there is Quran, and for Atiur Rasul, there is Hadith. So be careful for making us into different sectors. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that in the Quran, وَاتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. So we hold the laws and rules of Allah very tightly and don't divide into sectors. So we have only two things, one is Quran and another is Hadith. Well, Quran basically it is a code of conduct. It is not a book of science. Usually in the book of science what we have certain definitions, certain laws, certain formulas, certain derivations, and some examples and so on. So Quran is not like that. Not a single formula is written in the Quran. So it is a book of code of conduct. It is not a book of science, S-C-I-E-N-C. But it is a book of science, S-I-G-N-S. It is not a book of science, S-C-I-E-N-C, but it is a book of science, S-I-G-N-S, ayat. So it is a book of ayat. So from these ayat, we have to consider, we have to make some tadabbur and tafakkur on these ayat, and then go ahead. And not only that, Quran says that it is a mother of all books, Ummul Kitab. So Ummul Kitab means everything is here. Whatever knowledge we have got in the past and whatever knowledge is coming in the future, all that knowledge is here. Only we have to extract that type of knowledge in which we are interested. I am interested in science, so I have extracted that scientific knowledge. That professor was interested in Islamic sciences, so he extracted that knowledge. You may be interested in economics, so you can extract that knowledge. So every type of knowledge is there. So it is a Ummul Kitab. Okay? So once it is a Ummul Kitab, so what we should do? So wala yatazakkaru ulul albab. So mubarakan li yadabbaru. So we have to make some tadabbur. Okay. So they might reflect upon its verses, and that those of understanding would be reminded. Not only tadabbur, but also the independent and critical thing. Now these are the verses which were revealed on Prophet Ibrahim as-salam. Okay? So when he saw, here you will find out that how the things are critically analyzed. When the Ibrahim saw moon, okay, he said that, well, it is my God. But when when he started with a star, I think, yes, he started with a star. He saw a bright star and he said that, well, this is my Allah. But when the star sets, he denied that it may not be Allah, because Allah can never be disappeared. Then he see the moon. The moon is rising. So it was bigger than that star. Again the moon was set. So he denied that. It will not be Allah. And in the morning he saw the So on the next day, in the morning he saw the sun. So sun was bigger than the moon, bigger than the star. So Ibrahim said, well, it may be my Allah. But when the sun again sat down, so he denied that. And he said that indeed, I have turned my face toward He who created the heavens and the earth, inclined towards truth, and I am not of those who associate with the others. Who associate others with Allah. So you see, he started with the star, and then come to the moon, and then come to the sun. And then he decided that, well, Allah is something else. Allah is who has created all these heavens and the earth and everything, and there is no partner of Allah. So this is a way to analyze the things. So critical thinking and analyzing what there. So it is not working. You can use my one. Anyway, I am talking about the technology. Technology is not work perfectly. That's good. And not only that, Allah has made everything musakhar for us. وَسَخَّرَ لَكُم مَّا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا. And He has subjected to you whatever is in the heavens and whatever is on the earth, all from Him. So indeed, there are signs for a people who give thought. So what we have, so first thing is tadabbur, and then tafakkur, critical thinking and analyzing, and then musakhar. Okay? So if I put down all these things in order, so tafakkur means critical thinking and analysis, and this will lead to basic scientific research, and tadabbur and musakhar, they will give you design and experiment, and this will lead to the technology. So we now have tafakkur is basic scientific research we have to perform, and for tadabbur and musakhar we have to design and experiment, and this will lead to the technology. So that's why I choose my topic is our scientific research and technology. So presently I am with USIM, and basically I am from Madrasa Muhammad Ali Muslim University, but presently I am with them. So why we do all these things? That why we read Quran? So Quran says that what is the tadabbur and tafakkur? Quran says that فَهَذَا رَبَّكَ وَهَذَا صِرَاطَ رَبَّكَ مُسْتَقِيمًا قَدْ فَصَّلَ الْآيَاتِ لِقَوْمٍ يَتَّقُونَ. We have detailed the verses of people who remember. Okay? So everything is given in detail. And why they are given in detail? So هو الذي ينزل على عبده آيات بينات ليخرجكم من الظلمات إلى النور. So we have details آيات بينات. يخرجكم من الظلمات إلى النور, so that you can go from the darkness to the light. Okay? Here the word zulamat is new. What zulamat is used here? Zulamat means very, very, very darkness. One thing is simple darkness, and it is more darkness. The darkness is like that if one hand cannot see the other hand. It is that sort of darkness. So zulamat means more darkness. So everything is written in the yeah, of course, plural. More darkness. Right. So it is more darkness. Is zulamat. Yeah, this is a plural one, yes, right? So that you can go from, so he may bring out you from the darkness into the light. Darkness means unknown and light means known. Okay? So if you look at the verses which are written in the Quran and have a tafakkur on them, then you can go from unknown to the known. Unknown to known again means science. Okay? Now look at this figure. So basically I have a theoretical physicist, so I will do of course some physics also here. So this is a portion of a sky, and this is situated in the constellation Ursa Major. And when we don't have that much technology, so with the naked eye or with the just last before 10 years, these things were not visible because we don't have very good technology. But the astronomers were not happy with the situation that in this part of the sky nothing was visible. So how it happened? So then the telescope was developed, the name of that telescope is Hubble telescope, and this telescope was launched in the space. And this telescope has found out these images. Okay? So it was very surprising that each dot here is a galaxy. It is not a star. Each dot is a galaxy. Remember. Now one thing you should note, now I am telling you some figures. So try to remember those figures. Okay? We are living in a galaxy. Of course, our solar system is in a galaxy. Our galaxy contains 10 million stars. The galaxy in which our solar system is there, it contains 10 million stars. Okay? Astronomers so far have found out 250 billion galaxies. Each galaxy contains 10 billion stars. Now the things are coming and coming. More and more galaxies are found out each and every day. So you see such a big, huge star. Huge system is there. Still we are finding out some more things. The matter is creating everywhere continuously. So you see, we are living in a galaxy which contains 10 million stars. So far we have obtained or we have discovered or observed 250 billion galaxies. Each galaxy contains 10 billion stars. And Sun is one of them, around which our Earth is rotating. So you see where we are. Where we are. Nowhere. Okay? This is what science tells you. Okay? So there must be some creator of these things. They are not created automatically. There must be some creator. So who is that? You look at this. This is the figure of a particular galaxy. This is the galaxy which is nearest to us. Nearest means 10 raised to power 6 light years. It is very near to us. We can see it with the naked eye. How much time? 12:30. Yes. So there must be some creator, and the original creator is Allah. Alhamdulillah, Fatir is so the word Fatir is used. So Fatir means the creator who has created without anything, without any model, without any apparatus. He has created out of nothing. So Allah has created everything out of nothing. But He has created everything with a law. It's not created abruptly. He designed a law for his creation. So the first thing is, we created with predestination. The second verse in chapter 13, verse 8, in due proportion. Everything is created in due proportion. Not only that, Allah is the creator of all things. He is the guardian of everything. To him belongs the key of heavens and the earth. So key doesn't mean the key and lock key. Okay? Key means the rule, the laws. So the laws of nature, they are the laws of Allah. Allah has made each and every law for each and every creation. So whatever He is created, He made a law and then it was created. We sometimes say kun fayakun. So kun fayakun doesn't mean that it has happened once, at once. It means Allah has assigned a law and according to that law, that thing is created. So each and every law of creation is the law of Allah, and Allah of course has given us the ability to do that. We can discover it. So as you see, our previous speaker, Professor Mumtaz, told something about Newton's law. Okay? So till now we have seen that each and every law of creation is the law of Allah. Okay? So about this law, it was said that Newton was sitting in his garden under an apple tree. So an apple fell down on his head. So Newton thought, or he think, that why the apple did fall on my head? Why it had not gone up? Why it ought not gone this way or gone this way? So after a lot of thinking, he find out that there is a force which attracts a thing or which causes the apple to fall. And he called that force as the force of gravity. And I think almost all of you have read in your physics book, either in class 12 or in first year, Newton's law of universal gravitation. Newton's law of universal gravitation. This means that gravity was not existed before Newton. When Newton came, he discovered that law, and then apple become fall down. Because it is written as Newton's law of gravitation. So I usually teach in my class. This is the law of gravitation discovered by Newton. Okay, all the laws of creation, they are the laws of Allah. Okay, we can discover them because the facility is there. That facility is there. So from using that facility, Newton has discovered. Newton was not a Muslim. Okay, so he was an insan. So So whosoever think over the ayat of Allah, he can discover many things. Not only that, this is the one law which we read in our classes. The other law is Kepler's laws of planetary motion. Okay? Kepler's laws of planetary motion. It is written on every book of science, every book of physics, that every planet will move around the sun in an elliptic orbit, the sun at one of its foci. Okay? So it seems that all the planets, they were lying at rest. When Kepler came, he found out the law, okay, they start moving. Okay? Because it is a Kepler's laws of planetary motion. So they are I teach in my class, these are the laws of planetary motion discovered by Kepler. Because he used the facility Allah. But we are not so fortunate that we use those facilities. Yeah. Now let's start with the beginning, that how our universe was beginning. So this is in chapter 21, verse number 30. So do not the unbeliever sees that the heavens and the earth were joined together as one unit before we clove them asunder. So here we have got two words. One is the word ratab, another word is fatab. Ratab means to join like this as a one unit. So this is the meaning of ratab. To join, that heavens and the earth, they were joined like a one unit in this way. And then fatab means to separate or to blow into pieces with high speed. So fatab means they separated like this. So heavens and the earth, they were joined together as a one unit, and then they separated with high speed. So this is what is known nowadays as the Big Bang, the Big Bang theory of universe. So you see, some 1400 years ago, the Quran has given the hint of the Big Bang theory, which the scientist has developed. Just now, I say, because it was this, the idea of Big Bang was given in only 1940. So it is not a very old idea. So it may like this. It is started maybe like this. Okay, once again I repeat this slide. It is started from a point, coming out of nothing. Okay? There was one unit of creation, then it came out of nothing. Or maybe like this. Starting from a point, and then they separated, heavens and the earth, they separated each other with high speed. So this is the thing which was given in the Quran, and now the scientists in 1940, there was a scientist whose name, a physicist whose name was George Gamow. He gave the idea of the Big Bang. He said that the universe was created with a big explosion at an instant finite time. Suppose that time is t equal to 0. Okay? We take t equal to 0 seconds. So the universe burst out into existence out of a point. So at that instant, all the radiation and matter, they poured out from that point. Okay? The point from which, in the form of a big expression. And the debris of the explosion, they move apart with large velocities. So move apart with large velocity is simply the fadak. Radak means they were joined together, and fadak means they are separated with high speed. So the instant t equal to 0, it can be considered as the creation of the universe, or the event of creation. And the time, so naturally, before t equal to 0, there was no universe, no observer, no physics. Only Allah was there. So time since t equal to 0, the time that has been elapsed since t equal to 0 till now, it is known as the age of the universe in which we are living. Okay? And an approximate calculation reveals that its age is 14 billion years. So our universe is 14 billion years old. And the particle creation, so universe is started at t equal to 0. And particle creation, the first particle was created at t equal to 10 raised to the power minus 43, or 1 upon 10 of 43 zeros of a second. So just starting with the universe, the first particle was created. Now the scientists are looking that for first particle. So they have set up a very good laboratory. They call it as Large Hadronic Collider. So from there they are finding out the first particle from which the whole thing was created. That first particle, they call it as the God particle. But I call it as the God's particle, the particle of God, not the God particle. And the scientific name is the Higgs boson. So they are looking for the Higgs boson. Anyway, so the early universe, which was mainly made up of high radiation in comparison to the matter. Now, it was in the beginning, the universe was radiation dominated, while at present it is matter dominated radiation. So, so far what I have done, I have found out that the universe has started with a Big Bang. Okay? It is started at t equal to 0, and then the present age is 14 billion years. Okay? So it is started from here. It is started from t equal to 0, suppose it is here, and now we are here at t equal to 14 billion years. So 14 billion years have been passed. So with this knowledge, now let us try to understand the words of the Prof. Okay? Look at this words of the Prof. Allah will say, how long did you remain on earth in number of years? Allah is asking in number of years. Number of years. How long did you remain on earth in number of years? They will say, we remain a part of, they will remain a day or a part of it. The question is asked in number of years, and the answer is given in days. This is not a scientific rule. Scientific rule says that the same unit should be used. The unit should be the same. If it is asked in years, the answer should also be in the years. So question is asked in years, And the answer is given in days or a part of day. So this means there may be something wrong here, but nothing is wrong in Quran. So this means there is something wrong in our understanding. Okay? So now let us use the knowledge that I have given you up to now. We have started at t equal to 0 and 14 billion years have been passed. Okay? Average human age is suppose 100 years. Average human age is suppose 100 years. Okay? So the time elapsed is 14 billion years. This is the time scale. T equal to 0, the universe has started. And t equal to 14 billion, this is the present age. Okay? So can we locate our age here? On this scale? Can we locate our age? The answer will be in a day or a part of it. Okay? So from the science, you can very well understand this words of the Quran. And if you are living in a place where your stay is very short, either a day or a part of a day, then be a good human being. Be a good Muslim. This is the social message given by this ayat through science. Because you are living here only for a few days or for a few hours. So if you are visiting, you see, if you are visiting with your family and you have a very naughty child, okay, to some other family, you say with your child, be careful, we are going there only for 2 hours. So be keep quiet, don't show anything wrong to them. So we are here in this world for only 2 hours or 3 hours. So why we are behaving like from? Why we not be a good human being? A good Muslims. Okay? So this is the social message as well as the, you can, through science you can understand the words very well. Well anyway, so since in the beginning the universe was very highly radiation dominated, so this means at present, okay, so what has happened to its heat, where it has gone? So it will be somewhere in the corners of the rooms. It has not gone anywhere because it is kept in a closed chamber, so it is somewhere in the corners of the room. So the same thing is happened with our universe. So in the beginning it was very hot, so when it cooled down, so now the heat is distributed in the corners of the universe. So the problem is how to detect it. If we can detect that heat, which was predicted by the theoretician, then the theory, this theory will be accepted. Because this is the basic rule of science. Any theory will be accepted only when it fulfills the need of the experiment or it satisfies the experiment. So before going to the experiments, now let us see what Islam says about the experiment. Quran says about the experiment is Qala Ibrahim Rabbi Arini Kayfa Qala walam tudanu Qala bala walakinna yatma'inna qalbi. So Allah says that so when Ibrahim al-Islam said, show me Lord how you will raise the dead, he replied, Allah says, you have no faith. Remember Allah, Ibrahim al-Islam was a messenger. The messenger must have the faith. Although I am a common man, I may not have a faith. But the messenger should have the faith. So Allah asked him, messenger, have you no faith? He said, yes, but just to reassure my heart. لِيَطْمَئِنَّ قَلْبِي, just to reassure my heart, I want to ask. So then Allah says that, okay, if you want to satisfy your heart, you can take 4 birds, train them, and then once they are trained, then cut their pieces and put the pieces over a mountain and call them again. They will come swiftly. Okay? So now you see here, the 4 birds here are the apparatus for the experiment. 4 birds, they are the apparatus for the experiment. And training them, cutting their pieces, scatter them on the top mountain and call them again. This is the method how to perform the experiment. So Quran also says that just to reassure your heart, لِيَطْمَئِنَّ قَلْبِي, you have to perform experiment. Okay? So when we don't have the habit of performing the experiment, other fellows are there. So why to worry? Penzias and Wilsons were the persons who made an experiment and detected that microwave background radiation which was predicted theoretically, and it was exactly the same value, 3 Kelvin, which was predicted by the theoretical people. So the Big Bang theory was accepted. But scientists, they are not happy person. They always try and try again. So some scientists thought that maybe this theory may be wrong. They have detected something else, Penzias and Wilson. So there was a team, and over a period of 2003 to 2010, a team was developed, and that was known as WMAP. The word W means Wilkinson Microwave Anisotropy Probe. So Wilkinson is the name of the main scientist who was involved with this experiment. So for this long 7 years, the experiment was performed just to confirm the Big Bang theory. So again, they found out the same thing. So Big Bang theory is now accepted. So you see here how we got the Big Bang theory. Just started with the scientific thinking. We have made some scientific research, and then theoretically we developed a model. And then after that, we have made certain experiment. So for the experiment, what we have to do? We have to develop technology. So basically, we have to do some scientific research and the technology. And that technology and scientific research was done just to confirm the Big Bang theory, which is already there some 1400 years ago in the Quran itself. But we never bother about that. So you see here, this is the picture, the things which are shown here in red. This is the heat, or which is the relic of the Big Bang. So this is the heat which is distributed uniformly throughout the whole universe. So Big Bang theory is now confirmed. So since the time is short, so I will have only 10 minutes. So in 10 minutes I will just can show you few slides. So this one is important, that so everything is easy for understand, but we never care. So let's come to the pure sciences. Okay? So so those who have denied our verses, okay? Those who disbelieve our verses, their deeds are like a mirage. Mirage means sarab. Okay? Sarab is an Arabic word. Okay? It means that moving sand like this. Okay? Sarab literally means moving sand. In English, it is known as mirage. So not only that moving sand, the meaning is already written here. In a lowland, which a thirsty one thinks is water, until when he comes to it, he finds nothing. So you see, in a desert or in a highway, you find out these things. You see the water is there, but once you go there, the water is not there. So this is known as sarab, or the mirage. Usually it is due to some scientific phenomena. The density is, the air density is low. So one feels that the images are there, so one feels that there is some water, but water is not there. So the same thing is written here. This phenomena has got a place in the writing of this gentleman, Ibn Hisham. So in the writing of Ibn Hisham, the phenomena of sarab is given clearly. But in the textbook, this phenomena of mirage is associated with Newton. That Newton has developed. Not only this Ibn Hisham has developed so many things. There is no time to go into the details, but only I will insist on this point, that last year was declared as the International Light Year by UNESCO for this gentleman. Now let's come to this science and technology together. This is from chapter number 8, verse 60, and these verses were revealed during the War of Badr. Okay? So now look at these verses carefully. وَأَعِدُّوا لَهُمْ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُم مِّن قُوَّةٍ وَمِن رِّبَاطِ الْخَيْلِ. And prepare against them whatever you are able of power and steeds of war, by which you may terrify the enemy of Allah and your enemy, and others beside them, whom you do not know, but whom Allah knows. So if you want to terrify your enemy, what you must have? You must have the right kind of arms and ammunition. You see here, the name of the arms and ammunition is not written here, although it was revealed at the time of war Badr. At that time, the weapons were sword and bow and arrow. So it is not written here sword and bow and arrow. It is written here, you must be prepared with the right kind of arms and ammunition if you want to terrify your enemy. The enemy which you know face to face, and the enemy which you do not know, but Allah knows. So your enemy will be terrified only when you have the right kind of ammunitions and arms, as well as steed, min khayl, okay? The steeds of war. So for khayl we now have supersonic jets. So how we can do that? So this is the latest armor and ammunition, the nuclear missile. And nuclear missile, how we can got it? First we have to do some scientific research. Once the scientific research is done, some formulas are done, then we will try to develop the technology, that how we can build this one. So again, that scientific research and technology is coming out. So if we have the right kind of arms and ammunition, only then our enemy will be terrified. So these horses, they are replaced by these supersonic jets. So do any Muslim country has these things? No. The answer is no. Because we are not habitual of thinking over the It is clearly written that if you want to terrify the enemy, your enemy, you must have arms and ammunition. So how the arms and ammunition will come? It will come through the scientific research and technology. So I don't think any officer of any Muslim country is here. So if he were here, I would insist him that if we want to revive our old heritage and our pride and our honor, then we must establish academies of sciences. The countries which have enough fund or more funds, they should establish academies of science, and in that academy, the Muslim scientists should be invited there. They work there for some time and then go back to their own Muslim country. So I'm sure that after 30 or 40 years, we will have a bunch of very good Muslim scientists. And once we have got those Muslim scientists, we can bring any type of arms and ammunition so that the enemy will be terrified. Why we are terrified with America? Because all these things, they are made by the Americans, not by us. So only that country. So this means we have to be strong in science and technology. And unfortunately, we are not. Now let's go another one. And after that, I will show you one more slide and then the conclusion. Okay? Because these fellows they are disturbed. You are not disturbed, but these fellows are disturbed due to the shortage of time. Okay? They have to arrange the other program also. Anyway, now look at this words. Basically, this is a very verse which can create fear. Okay? Which can create fear. If you look into the meaning of this one, this is the fire of Allah fueled, which bounds and direct towards the heart. So how terrifying is that fire? It's going towards your heart. Now, as a student of science, I think over this verse, and you will see the meaning now has changed. Narullahi muqaddadillati. Okay? This is the fire which is created by Allah. Okay? This is the fire which is created by Allah. And every fire is some sort of a radiation. And every radiation has got a frequency. Oh, I'm talking in the terms of science. Okay? Every fire is some sort of a radiation. And every radiation has got a frequency. This frequency is fixed by Allah. It is written here. This fire is made by Allah. So the frequency of that radiation is fixed by Allah. We can detect that frequency because the facility is there. Okay, we can detect that frequency. Now that frequency is like that. Come to the second verse. The first verse is the fire which is made by Allah. This is some sort of a radiation, and every radiation has a frequency. We can detect this frequency because Allah is there. Now come to the second verse. This fire is such that it will go towards the heart. So only one organ of the human being is mentioned here. Not the whole body is mentioned here. Only one part of the body is mentioned here. So this means we can always detect a radiation. If we want to hit that radiation on a particular part, we can hit that particular part, other part will remain unaffected. And you know, everybody now knows this thing, the microwave oven. The food is heated through the radiation, which has got a frequency. Okay? Only the food is heated. The utensil in which you put the food, it is not heated. Okay? So we can always detect a radiation. If you want to hit at that particular instant, it will hit that only one. Other things will be unaffected. The same thing is done in the cancer chemotherapy. Again, through the radiation, the cancer cells are destroyed. So other part of the body remains unaffected. So you can always detect the radiation which can hit the part on which you want to hit that. On this slide, and then I will come to the last one. Okay? So now let's come to the bird slide. I'm talking about the science and technology. Number. I'm not talking about the morals and all these things. So you see here in chapter 16, Allah says that do they not see the birds controlling the atmosphere of the sky? None holds them up except Allah. Indeed, in that are signs for a people who believe. So you see, every day you see the birds are flying everywhere. The effect of gravity is not there on the birds. Okay? Usually what happened? Just now we have seen the law of gravity. Apple fall down. Bird never fall down. Although the gravity is there, but they never fall down. So it doesn't mean that Allah has created 10,000 birds and 10,000 angels and put each angel towards a bird and say that don't let them fall. No, Allah has made a rule that how to challenge the gravity, how to fly against the gravity. So if we can understand the motion of the bird's flight, we can of course find out the machine which can fly like birds. Not only that, so Allah has said, again, do they not see the birds above them with wings outspread and suntowns folded in? So some birds, they fly like this, okay? And some birds, they fly like this. So we have to observe both types of birds. That is, we have to understand what is the science behind the bird's flight. So if we can understand that science behind this bird flight, so this is one particular bird. It is a one species of the eagle. So when we understand its flight, we have obtained this flying machine. So the science is there, technology is there. Okay. Look at another one. This is another species of eagle. You look at this shape of these wings. They are upward. They are like this. So this type of eagle, this is a high altitude flying bird. So if we want to construct a high altitude flying machine, then we should design the wings like this. So another flying machine is designed in such a way. You see the wings are up here in the same way. So once we understand the science of that bird, we have find out the technology here. Not only that, look at this bird. This bird has name as Rosia tern. Look at I cannot use this one, the pointer, so I have to come here. Look at the shape of this bird. This is his tail. Your tail is cut like this. These are his feet, the beak and the head. Okay, it is very much clear here. Look at the tail here. It is cut from the downward, and then beak and the head. The beak and the head. Okay. So this the risk of this fish is small fishes. The risk of this bird is small fishes which are on the surface of the sea. So this bird flies just 5 to 10 feet over the surface, and as soon as she sees a fish, she dives and then put it in her beak and then go away. So look at the design. While understanding the flight of this bird, we have made the fighter planes. We have got the same shape here. The tail is cut down. Look at the beak, and the head is the pilot. So you see different types of shape. So this is what the fighter plane does. They came to the city, do it like this, and then go away. So just knowing the flight of this bird, we have developed the technology, how the fighter planes are done. Not only that, We are also familiar with this bird. This bird fly like this. Okay? So this bird has the capability that it can stay in the air for a long time, okay? And then move to the other flower. So this bird's wrist is the juice of a flower. So if she sit on a flower, the flower will get down, so she will not get the risk. So Allah has designed in such a way that these birds are the hummingbirds. I'm sure you know. So when they see a flower, they just move like this, stay in the air, and then move to the flower and put down their beak in the flower. Once they suck the juice, they move away like this to other flower. So they can stay in the air for a long time and then can fly straight also. So by knowing the science of this bird, we have developed this flying machine which are known as the helicopters. They do the same thing as these hummingbirds do. So just now Allah says in Quran, why don't you see the birds which are flying in the sky? So we never saw. We say Alhamdulillah, that's all. But that's not our duty. Our duty is to think. We have to make tafakkur as well as tadabbur. Only then we will be successful in this world as well as the world hereafter. Why hereafter, that I will tell you later on. We are all familiar with this fine bird. Okay? This is an owl. Ah, that's okay. I know your limitation. You know, but I should convey my message also. You look at this bird. This is an owl. Okay? When owl flies, usually all the birds when they fly, they make some sound. But when owl flies, there is no sound. So Allah has designed this bird in such a way that in flying there is no sound. Why it is not sound? You look at the insect here. These are the feathers of this bird. There are thousands or hundreds of sound waves. They nullified the sound effect, and so there will be no sound. So this means if you want to hit the enemy in the night, we should design a plane which do not have sound. So we have to study how these owls fly. Okay? So by seeing the owls fly, we have find out this is how the owl is flying, and we have developed this machine which is known as the steel bomber. We have means I am not developed. Americans have developed. We means scientists. Okay? So America has developed. Do we have this technology? No. The Quran is with us since last 1400 years. We never care for that. You look at the design, it's designed just like a owl. So we have understood the science of this. Okay, due to the shortage of the time, I will come to the last one. There are so many things to tell, but the time is always limited. Yeah. Anyway, the social message is there. So now let's discover our own place in this universe. So now let's make comparison. So this is our Earth. We compare it with the other planets, Venus, Pluto, Mercury and Mars. And now compare this with the other one. Then we have Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and this is our in comparison to these planets. Now in comparison to the Earth with the Sun, you see only a dot is there. If we compare with the Sun, the Earth, only a dot is there. And somehow or the other, if I put all these planets in the Sun, only 2% space of the Sun will be occupied. 98% will remain back. So this means in comparison to the Sun, the Earth is a very little thing. Now compare the Sun with the other thing. You see the Sun is here in the center. So now slowly and slowly I will increase the radius and then come to the present radius of the universe. Okay? So when we have the radius of 10 light years, the Sun is visible. Sun is a star. Nearest star is Alpha Centauri, which is also written here. Now I increase the radius. When I increase the radius here, I make it 250 light years. So you see only the Sun is depicted by an arrow here. Okay? Now increase the radius here. The Sun is again depicted by an arrow. Now this is in the arm of a constellation which is known as Orion. So the Sun is here now. The Sun location is in the arm of a constellation which is known as the Orion. So when we have 50,000 light years, the radius is this. Now I have removed all the names. Can you look at where is our Sun? No? Cannot look at? It is only 250 light years only. The radius is so big of our universe. Only we have taken only a small one. So still the sun is not there. The sun is not there. So what is the question of the Earth, which is also moving around the sun? Now increase the radius one. I make it 50,000 light year. So actually we have got the sun in our galaxy, which is the Milky Way here. Okay? So now the Milky Way is shown here. Increase the radius again here. I make it 100 million light year. So we have got a local group in the center. So our Milky Way is the local member of this group. So our Milky Way has lost, our sun is lost, our Earth is also not seen here. Go on increasing the radius. Okay, 1 billion light year, and then I make it 2 billion. So local group is also vanished. Other stars came into the existence. So there is no question of sun here. And now I make it to the point, the present one. So this is the present universe in which we are living. Okay? This is the observable universe which we can observe. Can you find out where we are? Even a trained astronomer cannot say where we are. This universe is still expanding. We don't know the limits of or the boundaries of the universe. So again, the social message is coming through science that in this big universe, we don't have any significance. Yes, we don't have any significance, although we have got importance. Because everything Allah has subjected for us. So importance is there, but there is no significance for human being just looking at this creation. So once we have got no significance, then once again I say that we should be a very good human being as well as a very good Muslim. And then thank you very much. I'm very sorry that I have taken time.